Welcome to Shadow Talkers. I'm RulyWolf.
And I'm YoKDog.
Today we are getting our toes wet with our very first podcast, and we thought we'd talk to you about the Men in Black. Do you believe in the Men in Black, YoKDog?
You know, I would have to question it. Certainly, we started this conversation because of a very popular YouTube channel called SECURETEAM10, and the gentleman who does the videos for that, Tyler, has claimed that they are following him, or in his past videos, that the Men in Black might be watching him. So, do I believe in him? I'm sure there's something out there. My question is, if you're running a YouTube channel, is that something that would cause the Men in Black or a government agency to come watch you?
Well, I think that would actually probably be more of a cause for them, because it's an easier way for them to follow you. They can watch your channel, hear what you're saying, even if you're thinly veiling things or phrasing it the right way, that you could still be watched. I think one of the first encounters of a man in black was in 1947. Harold Dahl was out and saw a UFO, and he took a picture, and believe he told like his supervisor at work, and then the next morning he had a man in black come and tell him that he saw nothing, basically, and he came out and said that it was a hoax and he didn't do it. But later on he recanted what he said and said that he wasn't telling the truth under duress. So if in 1947 one person takes a picture and then is visited by a man in black, I would think that being a widely known person to talk about things, on YouTube, you would definitely have a much higher chance of a strange visitor telling you to stop or visiting you or following you.
Right. Well, let me ask you this then. Okay, so SECURETEAM10 is very popular. They over 2 million followers, and Tyler, who runs the channel, has done a great job putting together this huge channel that is on YouTube, which is a great feat. I know I'm kind of stumbling around a little bit, but recently he's had some kind of issue. He came out and put a video out, one he removed, but somebody else captured, and he's saying that they, quote unquote, they are trying to cause him trouble, trying to shut down his channel, that they are telling him to shut up. And in previous, like back in August of 2017, he said that he thought that maybe the Men in Black were sitting outside his house watching him. So the question begs is, if you are a big popular YouTube person and very well known, would the government, because that's what it comes down to, would the government be watching you? Would they be monitoring you? Do any of us who talk about UFOs really have any new information to put out there that would cause the government to come out? I don't know.
Well, it's a valid thing. I mean, they do have Area 51, and it's all top secret. So there's always going to be speculation of, what am I saying? Am I getting it right? Maybe you did say something that was right. Tyler at SECURETEAM10 has put out so many videos, though. I don't think we could necessarily pinpoint and say, oh yes, this video, he said this, it must be right, because he's got so many videos out, and it would be hard to really pinpoint what would he said exactly that would have caused this. And I did want to point out that with everything going on, his followers have dropped. He is starting to lose some followers. Other YouTubers are pointing out inconsistencies with his facts and story that he's been putting out about himself. I will say, though, that if I had Men in Black or strange people following me, and I'm putting things out there like the videos he puts out there, with a lot of information and facts that possibly could have something true in there. You know, I hit a gold mine and didn't even realize it. I don't know how consistent I would be, because I'd probably be pretty freaked out. I mean, if I had somebody following me or coming up to me and telling me I needed to stop, I wouldn't really want to continue, because that's kind of freaky.
It is kind of freaky. I do want to put out there that we are not here to bash Secure Team 10.
Absolutely not.
There are multiple channels out there who are bashing Secure Team 10, and RulyWolf, you brought up a couple things as far as like inconsistencies, or some people say he's manipulated information. Here's my thing. Secure Team 10 is a very popular channel because Tyler is an entertainer. So you and I have talked about some of the videos we've seen and said, hey, do you believe this? Because we believe that there's definitely something that could be out there. There's no doubt about it. I've seen things in the past that, sure, I definitely believe in UFOs. You know, where they coming from, I don't know. I would love to see more information. So I have a problem when I see things posted that he can debunk really easily. And Tyler has put up stuff that, again, not bashing him, just put up stuff that I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't think it's real. But he's an entertainer. And by the way, when you have 2 million followers and you're putting up a podcast or a video cast every week or something, that takes a lot of information you need. So he's gonna post stuff that, okay, it's entertainment. What is that? Is it real? And he's very clear in all the videos I've seen that he says, I'm not sure that's real, but it sure looks like something. So you know what? I can't knock the guy.
And, you know, and going to an entertainer, you know, you have actors and actresses who do a fabulous job of selling you on something. In fact, YoKDog and another family member had done a podcast on Flat Earth at one point. I don't believe you guys ever published it, or if you did, you know.
I'm sorry, on which one?
On Flat Earth.
Oh, yes.
So I don't remember if you published it or not, but I had listened to it, and the other family member was sold on Flat Earth, to the point that after I listened to it, I called him up and I was like, do you really believe in that? Like, I didn't think you believed in that. And he said, no, I was being an opposite opinion for the podcast. And I did research on the opposite opinion. He had me sold. So I could definitely see Tyler, you know, just really projecting that, you know, this great, like, oh, look at this. Because again, as you said, he has to put out so much content. And, you know, it's amazing what somebody can sell you on if they do it just right, whether they believe it or not. Or, you know, so, you know, it's amazing what they can do. So as you said, you know, he's an entertainer, and some of it might not be what he believes, but he's putting it out there because there are people that believe it. Whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. He's giving something to everybody that listens to him.
Exactly. And by the way, his followers are huge and they're big fans. But I got to say this too, because I love it that he made a logo that people have latched onto, and they wear hats and t-shirts and they put stickers everywhere. It's awesome.
Oh, definitely.
So that being said, let's go to the point of he's in, and you all can go on YouTube and find out. People have captured his video and it's still out there, even though he removed it. And we're not going to get into the details of what's going on because, again, we're not here to bash a guy. We're just here to say, hey, if somebody comes out who's a public person and says the Men in Black are following me or they are following me, at what point do you jump on board and say, oh, wow, they're really following him? Or at what point do you say that's a bunch of nonsense, he's lying? Or how can you tell? How do you know? Because let's put it in straightforward in real life. If the Men in Black, again, we're just going to say Men in Black just because that's easy and fun and it brings up a image in your head. The neuralizer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great movie. Anytime I hear Men in Black, I think of that. But
I know.
Even though more than likely, if there is, you know, the Men in Black or Man in Black or anything, they're probably a lot more sinister than that.
Yeah,
and
probably.
I don't think they have neuralizers to make us forget.
You know, no, I don't want to know what they have to make you forget either.
No, neither do I. I'm good.
Yep.
I don't need a visit, guys. Thanks.
Right. So here's a scenario. Something bad happened. supposedly. Um, People who are following Tyler and people who don't are jumping on board and getting really mad at him, which, if what they're saying is true, maybe deservedly so. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm going to let by the way, I'm letting the court system or whatever take care of this. I am not here to judge him because I have no clue. But what if, because he's an entertainer, let's say one of the speculations is, okay, one, he's doing something he shouldn't be doing and he got in trouble for it. Two, it's a hoax and he's doing it for entertainment. Or three, let's say it was Men in Black. Maybe Tyler did say something in the past and now the government, some government agency wants to shut him up. Of course, things are going to happen that you can't explain. That's going to make the person look bad. So how do you sit there and say, oh, he's so full of it, but they're setting him up? If they're setting him up, well, then it looks real, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to have the resources and the money to do that. It's, simple.
Yeah.
It really is simple. And not to mention, there are two sides to every story. So we're getting, what Tyler is telling us. But let's say, there's someone strange following him or, Men in Black are following him. We're never going to get their side of the story. So we're only going to hear what Tyler, is able to tell us. So you can't sit there and necessarily, demonize someone for what's going on because you'll never know the full story, and that may be his truth, and absolutely 100%, but we're never going to hear from the Men in Black about it, so we'll never know. Sometimes
Exactly.
You do have to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not saying you should always give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but this is one of those situations that I think you just don't know the full story. We may not be able to see everything to know exactly what is going on.
Right. So with that being said, too, because I think you're aware of it, RulyWolf, but he recently had an interview with Bob Lazar. Do you know who Bob Lazar is?
It rings a bell.
I know we hadn't really talked about it, so I wasn't sure. So
yeah,
basically,
sorry guys, I've got great allergies going on, and my brain fuzz is like to the max. so I'm just kind of like in la la land a little bit because my brain's like, I'm not gonna work. So sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. Well, he claims to have knowledge of working for the government and seeing the UFOs and actually being near the spacecraft and things like that.
Oh, okay.
And Tyler interviewed him not too long ago. And after the interview, Tyler did come on and say that strange things are starting to happen since the interview. So again, here's the interesting thing. Where is the line getting blurred? What's reality and what is entertainment? We don't know, and we probably won't know. But the thing is, he did have this. By the way, Bob Lazar, this happened, way back in Area 51 times, and he went into hiding.
Okay.
And supposedly was quiet for years and now has come out. So do you think an interview with somebody like that's something that happened, we'll say 30, 40 years ago, is that enough to trigger the government to come after you as a video YouTuber? Would you get any information that's really going to cause the government to spend their time to come shut you up?
Probably not. Possibly if, again, he hit gold with one of his videos and happened to hit on the truth. And then, in the interview, Bob Lazar said something that could be connected to the two. But you have to have a very specific type of personality and have your brain work a certain way to be able to make those connections. Not everybody is going to be able to, pick this apart and, this just makes this perfect, so that's difficult. And I also do feel like, to a degree, for the majority, if not all people, when you're put into a situation and afterwards your brain is on hyperdrive almost. For example, you watch a scary movie and it freaks you out and you turn off the lights and you're in bed and oh my gosh, what was that sound? Or is there a shadow moving over there? Your mind gets hyperactive and it's starting to see things that may not actually be there, but you're more aware of it, and so it's going to bother you more. So that could have been possibly something that happened to him after that interview as well. Just, he was just so, super focused on what was said and what was going on that it seemed like that was his situation.
That's a good point. I remember saw something one time, and it was funny because I was driving home. It was dark out, and this is a topic for another show completely. But this weird anomaly in the sky, um, just to keep it simple, there was an anomaly in the sky that I had never, ever, 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 ever seen anything like it before, except for some sci-fi picture, and I couldn't believe it. And I was driving down a dark road, and it was just above the mountains, and I wanted to pull over to take a picture because there's nothing more frustrating when somebody talks about something. Anyhow, I couldn't pull over. It was dark out. I wasn't about to pull over and get stuck on the side of the road and or get hit by somebody. People fly down that road real fast.
Or be abducted.
Well, that could be too, but this wasn't one of those kind of things. So.
Okay.
But afterwards, I thought, what if I put out there that I saw this? What if I had gotten a picture? And it was just a weird thought because I don't think this way. I don't feel like I have any information that's going to bring the government or somebody after me. And again, Men in Black, I like that better. Government sounds sinister. Men in Black, maybe they'll be nice. Maybe they'll be funny.
Well, in all of the documentation I have read, of people having encounters with the Men in Black, they, tell them to stop, but nothing sinister really happens.
And this is true, huh? But what about the people who disappear? What about the people who die all of a sudden?
That's a good point. I guess you're right. No, because
they can't say anything.
They can't tell you. That's a good point.
So we could talk in a way that after a while you're gonna feel creeped out and like you're being watched. Mm-hmm. So again, which way do you take something like this? So Tyler on SECURETEAM10, it's like he's saying these things are happening to him. My question is, do you believe him or not? Or how do you not believe him? I mean, it could go either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a difficult one because, I mean, some of it I'm like, well, I don't know. That seems odd. But on the other hand, if these things are happening to him, well, yeah, I mean, he's going to be freaked out. And, there may be inconsistencies because your brain is on such high alert that you're not thinking clearly and you're afraid. So it's hard to say, and I'm not going to make a judgment on the guy because he could be right. And if he's wrong, then, if it's not true, then I just, I feel bad. Either way, I feel bad, and I'm not going to make a judgment on the guy.
Yeah, I don't think we can, legitimately.
Absolutely not.
Either
way, he's going through a hard time. Whether, he's telling the truth, whether, it's not, it doesn't matter. He's going through a hard time, and he has my sympathy either way.
Okay, and that's good, yeah, because if somebody's having a problem and you need help, you need help.
Absolutely. And sitting there bashing him isn't going to help anybody.
No. And again, he's a great entertainer, and a lot of people they're trying to, I don't know why they're bashing him. Yes, again, I've thought about it. We've talked about it. It's like, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? Trying to find something to talk about or now video about. And people send him stuff constantly. And, when you're very few people who do YouTube have a lot of time sitting around, I'm assuming he was a busy guy. You take stuff, you got to put something together. You put it out there. You say you don't know if it's real or not. It's still entertainment.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the bashing that goes on, okay, fine. And people say he doctored stuff or whatever. I don't know. I have no clue. But again, getting back to the Men in Black, do you think they're there? I mean, well, let me say this real quick. The one went back in August of 2017 when he said he was outside and there's a vehicle out just, I don't know, 40, 50 feet away from him, sitting in the parking lot by his house. So they're parked in public. It's a dark vehicle. He said they've been there for 3 days. Like you said, is your mind on hyperdrive and you're worried that somebody's following you or watching you or trying to intimidate you? Let me ask this. Would you be intimidated if you kept going outside and somebody's just sitting out there? What would you do?
Oh, I'd absolutely be intimidated. I'm not sure what I would do, but I know that I've been out driving and a car follows me for too long. And my first thought is, okay, are you following me? Do you just happen to be going the same way? And we live in a pretty big city. There's, over 1 million people in the city I live in. So when somebody happens to, follow me in an odd way, my first thought is, are you following me? And I automatically think of all the things I'm going to do. Am I going to drive straight to a police station? I'm going to go a couple different ways to make sure they don't follow me home. So if somebody was sitting outside, I don't know. I would probably call the police and, tell them that there's a strange vehicle that's been sitting out there, after the first day. I would have some criteria first because, I have neighbors. I wouldn't just call randomly, but if there's a strange van sitting out there and I can see people in there more frequently than not, then I would probably call the police and say, hey, it seems like there's a suspicious person out there. I wouldn't, I don't think I would do nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I would be like you. The smart thing to do is call the police.
Yeah, because
depending how I was feeling, I would probably walk over. I might walk over, knock on the window, say, "Hey, you need help? Are you lost? What's going on?" So, if I feel like you can't call the police because they're just sitting there, but after a couple of days, I'd like come over. Hey, you lost? You looking for somebody? Can I help you? Now, if they say get in the car, no, see you bye. I'm gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So my husband would go out there and ask them that. I personally wouldn't, because that's the other thing. Human trafficking is really high out here.
Oh yeah. No.
And then with myself and my kids, I would be on high alert. That would really freak me out. I don't know if my first thought would be that, somebody's watching me because of the podcasts.
Right.
That we do. Only because I'm not making any claims of anything being real or not. I have my own opinion, and that's fine and dandy. And right. I'm not saying anything wrong. So, and I'm not saying anybody else is saying anything wrong too, because again, I want to go back to Tyler has so much content that he might have said something that was right, but I don't think he's going to know. There's so much content that he's put out. I feel like at some point you could hit on just like, gold and say the right thing that's right. But I don't think you're necessarily going to know it's right. And so I don't think that would be my first thought was that somebody was following me. I would be more concerned that, they're watching to take my kids home for, here, kids, I have a puppy. Come get in my van. So.
See, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. How do you do? Or, he's so popular, maybe as a creeper.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think in his situation, from what I know, I could see where if I were in his shoes, I could see where my thought would be that somebody strange or the Men in Black is following me in his situation. For me personally, at this point in my life, I that wouldn't be my first thought, but I could definitely see where that would be his first thought.
Right. Now, the other thing is too, because kind of going upon the thing about your brain going to hyper mode, he says he's an insomniac and he has a lot of people who follow him and they say they are too. So let's say you're sleep deprived. At some point, that's got to have an effect on you. At some point, the middle of the night. When's the worst time to think about things?
The middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just like, you just don't know. But yeah. Let's say he did do something wrong. Would that be an easy thing to throw out there saying, hey, they're following me. They're telling me to shut up, which I would turn around and go, you shut up. But that's just me. But all seriousness, it's like, at what point, again, it's just a crazy part. Is somebody following him or not? Are Men in Black real or not? I mean, obviously there is agencies out there that I'm sure do some stuff. I mean, we've all watched enough TV to know. I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
I mean, there are all those shows that, with those secret government agencies.
Yes.
So
yes,
it could be a possibility.
Could be. Maybe.
Who's following you?
So yeah, it's a very interesting topic, and I don't know. Does my camera keep flicking or something? I keep
Yes, it
seeing
does.
that.
It keeps going out of focus, which is super creepy.
I'm
Because
gonna
it
have to
wasn't
fix
doing that.
It wasn't doing that now.
Uh-uh.
Now they're trying to get a better mugshot.
Maybe wiggle your mouse.
I'm not.
Maybe it's like falling asleep and your light, like it started flashing light.
Okay, let's see if it stops. Sorry, everybody. By the way, I'm not good looking enough to be picked up by somebody, so. The man in black can come by and go, oh boy, just keep moving. Don't stop.
No, see, here's what you need to do. You take Bob back there, right?
Bob or his brother Bob?
Let's go with his brother Bob. So
Okay.
Bob's brother. The man in black come to the door, look through the peephole, and you have Bob's brother answer the door. Just like, hey
There
guys, just out. Problem solved.
Right. We're not hiding anybody here.
What? Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So
what do you guys think? You know, do you think that there are the men in black? Do you think there are strange people that follow other people? Have you guys had anybody, like, have you had somebody follow you? You should let us know.
Absolutely let us know. That would be, well, I don't want to say so cool if somebody's following you, but we'd be interested to know.
Absolutely, because I don't think anybody's ever followed me. I'm not interesting enough. Not really.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think I could put anything out there that would be worthwhile spending their time, unless they're really, really bored.
Yeah, I always chuckle. People are worried today, and not unreasonably so, but you know, they're worried that they're being listened to. And I'm like, I have nothing to hide, guys. You're gonna be really bored. Hear me yelling at my kids, yelling at my dogs, you know. Nothing interesting here.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness, I know. But okay, well, please like and subscribe our channel. We'd like to grow some more and do some more content. It does take, and I guess going back to Tyler, he put a lot of time, and I commend him hugely for what he's done with this channel and for the entertainment he's brought us. Because again, for the most part, I don't know of anything that I've watched of his that was anything super secret that would cause a problem. But you know,
you never know.
You never know. You're right. He has, I think, does he have like 1,000 or 2,000? I forgot to go look, but he has a ton of videos out there, and they take a lot of work. So, you know, it's good to support the people. We just ask you to like and subscribe. All right, they already got to me. Yeah, I know.
That chip in your brain. They're like,
they spiked my vitamin drink.
I'm drinking root beer.
I can't talk. I know. It's really dry. This has been a dry winter. So you get to talking and it's hard to keep going. But please like and subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate it. And we hope to bring you more videos. This is our new one. Kind of exciting. We'll get better at this.
And we always love feedback. Always, guys. Definitely give us feedback.
Good
Anything
or bad.
that comes to mind, just let us know.
Yep. And if you have questions and stuff, maybe we can talk about it, or you have a suggestion of what we can talk about. Because we're not just UFOs and stuff like that. We're, you know, Bigfoot, which you can't see behind RulyWolf there. She's got her little Bigfoot guy.
Yeah. Well, come say hi, Squatchy.
Squatchy.
Hi, guys.
And we do have some podcasts out. Go check those out too. We don't have any video for them. And yeah. Anything else, RulyWolf?
Only thing I gotta say is don't forget to explore the shadows, guys.